Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast from Visit Aurora from the rafters of the Stanley Marketplace. This is the show dedicated to telling the stories of Aurora, Colorado. Hi there, I'm Dave, the Senior Marketing Manager for Visit Aurora. Plaza, Colorado is a brand new dynamic retail, culinary, and entertainment space in the heart of Aurora that includes 24 food hall kitchens, market stalls, a bar, a grocery store, entertainment, and so much more. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Doug McMurrain, the man behind this incredible new space. Doug, thanks for taking the time today.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate you having me.
When you have an opening of a place like this, is it similar to preparing for the birth of a child? Like you don't really know what you have until you have it, or can you see the pitfalls coming? Can you get the rest in? What is the psychological element of opening up a place like La Plaza?
Giving birth to an elephant? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of complexities that go into it as a developer or owner, and the operators, of which I am one. I own 6 business entities within the project personally.
Wow.
So I'm one of the operators as well, in addition to being one of the owners of the project. So it's not for the faint of heart.
I can imagine you purchased the space in 2017, back before it was a Super Kmart long ago. What was the initial idea when you acquired that space at Colfax and Chambers?
It was actually a lease purchase. We actually acquired the property in April of 2019.
Okay. We
leased it prior to that, and it's based on a model that I created in Atlanta, Georgia, and in Charlotte, called Plaza Fiesta. So this is my third iteration, third model. Took the lessons that I learned, things I did right, things I did wrong, and applying it to this Super Kmart. Plaza Fitness came along, wanted at least 60,000 square feet, so we leased that to them, leaving us about 100,000 square feet for what we just partially opened in March 29th. So it's a village, basically. It's not a shopping center. There's really nothing new. We'll have a grocery store that opens in July, August, 25,000 square foot Hispanic grocery store. We have 172 Mercado stalls. Like you said earlier, we'll have 24 food hall kitchens. They're not open yet. They should be open in the next 30 to 60 days. We have a full-on family entertainment center, big playground, arcade, virtual reality. We have one of the first 4-player virtual reality games in Colorado. Nobody has it. Dave & Buster's doesn't have it. It's called the Hyperdeck, and it is cool.
I want to dig into that here in just a little bit, but going back to 2019, you had no idea what was looming. It's been an arduous 4 years, to say the least. Was there a time when you thought maybe you wouldn't be able to pull this off?
Yeah, if you don't doubt yourself, it's okay, and it's healthy to question yourself. Never experienced anything like COVID before. I've built 4 million square feet of shopping centers, 13 Walmarts, 4 Home Depots, Targets. I developed Super Kmarts in Texas. This is the hardest deal I've ever done in my whole life. I've got good partners, Rich Naha and Waleed Mortada, that have stood by me when things got tough. And, to say that things aren't still tough, I wouldn't be honest with you. Getting 24 kitchens open is hard. This grocery store, which will be the Lever Supermarkets, they're going to have a 3,000 square foot Mexican brew pub as part of a grocery store. So it's a unique project here in the United States, and obviously Colorado and Aurora.
You touched on this. This is your wheelhouse. You've developed big box stores in highly competitive markets, but this is a different concept completely. How do you use that experience developing the Walmarts and the Targets? How does that lend to being successful when it comes to developing a project like La Plaza, Colorado?
Every deal is different.
Yeah.
This deal was a redevelopment, which nobody should be really building new shopping centers. After 2008, the shopping center business has changed dramatically with Amazon getting full stride. I created something that caters to a demographic that is extremely entrepreneurial. They're hardworking. They love their families. They love food, music. Obviously, everyone's welcome, but it's when you take a project like this to a banker, their eyes kind of roll back in their head and they go, "You're kidding me, right?" So financing was hard. COVID was hard, extremely hard. Prices quadrupled. Could you even get certain materials? No.
Right.
So just unforeseen hurdles that fortunately we've been able to overcome, and we will get these kitchens open, and we will have a grand opening, and hopefully around August that will be a real big grand opening. Right now it's not a complete project. It's when you come in, love to have people there. It was packed on Sunday. We had bands, the bar's open, family entertainment center's open, but it's there's a lot more to come. Let me put it that way.
And I imagine in one sense it'll never be fully completed because it's an evolving kind of breathing organism. You're going to have merchants come in and it's going to evolve over time. So that's got to be exciting as well. You're never going to get stuck in a stagnant place, I can imagine. One of the things that happens when a big box store comes to a community, often it's at the detriment of local business owners. How fulfilling is it to be able to do the opposite and serve as an incubator for local entrepreneurs?
You're absolutely correct. In my business, if you're not evolving, you're dying. So it's very important to continue to improve the project, to adjust, pivot, morph, and to serve your customers. So absolutely correct in that respect.
During the COVID time, the parking lot became an amazing gathering space for food trucks. It was a safe, open-air area in the age of COVID where the community could gather and have great food, music, and more. How did that come about initially, and did that kind of serve as a litmus test for how La Plaza could be successful in your eyes?
That was an accident. That developed out of COVID. When the trucks didn't have any place to go, most trucks are lone wolves. They feel like, if they're next to another food truck, they're stealing their business. And we proved that that's not the case. There's actually synergy and power in pulling together trucks, and the community can come and, you can order from 3 trucks and sit down with your family. And that's the same premise that's inside. You can go to 3, 4, 5 restaurants seamlessly and order and have a family style meal. I've received a lot of thank yous, which is really unusual in my business. As you said, big boxes have been perceived to be small business killers. And, I tell people that the development, the Walmarts, of all the 13 Walmarts that did the one project in Atlanta, Plaza Fiesta Atlanta, was way more rewarding than all 13 Walmarts that I ever did. Georgia State student wrote her master's thesis about my Atlanta project, which is a really interesting read. She didn't interview me, which my feelings
were
curious. For a little bit hurt, but that's okay. But her premise is our project has a generational impact with families. So if you can help a family start a business, and 54% of our businesses are Hispanic female in the market area. 75% of the restaurants are Hispanic female-owned restaurants. So if you can help a family put more food on the table, have less stress for the kids when they go to school, the kids do better in school, families do better, and those kinds of factors help create better, citizens, better, workers, better husbands, better moms, across the board. So what we do is it's 100% a business incubator.
Beyond that, it's a job creator. Aurora is home to Colorado's largest immigrant community, that community growing as of late with the influx of migrants. It's got to be very fulfilling to know that you're helping these families with these really incredible workers that now have access to that maybe they wouldn't have had even 6 months ago.
We have so many job applicants. It's unbelievable. I mean, we can't even go through all of them. And, the Colorado Enterprise Fund, CEF, was super helpful in us getting across the finish line with some funding. And they're catering to the community as well to help with loans. So, there's a lot of different factors that go into this thing. It's amazing. And we see all their numbers.
Yeah.
So, You talk about job creation. CEF asked us to estimate how many jobs, and it's 580 jobs that La Plaza will create, which is good for Aurora. Everybody has point of sale systems. Everybody pays their taxes. It's small business at its best.
You've worked throughout the country.
I'm a mutt. I was born in Texas, so I could say I'm a citizen of Texas. But I was in Georgia, Cincinnati, college at Alabama, and then back to Atlanta. Then moved my family up to Vail in 2005. Raised 4 children up in the mountains, and I moved to Aurora in the summer of 2019.
Did you see the opportunity when you got here?
It's interesting. I first focused on Federal Boulevard.
Okay.
And I'm really glad that deal didn't come together. There's some gentrification going on over there that's pushing families out. And, the growth corridor for Denver, Metro, obviously including Aurora, is this northeast quadrant, surrounding the airport. So the new homes, the people that are living in Bennett, it's a great location. It's better than the Federal location for long term, and we'll hold this on a long-term basis. We won't sell this.
And there's an opportunity for really mindful development with as much open space as there is in Aurora. I believe only 51% or something like that has been developed so far. So there's a real opportunity to create a real futuristic or future forward kind of concept for this community as a whole. You mentioned over half of the businesses being Hispanic female led. Do you use specific strategies to attract and support these types of entrepreneurs? Is it word of mouth? How does that go?
It's word of mouth.
Yeah.
We hung 3 banners up on the building. They all 3 blew off, pretty quickly, but we part of being on the Front Range, we leased up very quickly. And like I said, we have licenses signed since 2019, and they hung in there. We opened in 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. So if that tells you anything about the spirit of the people and the business owners, and we have constantly people coming up and say, hey, I want to come in. Do you have any space? And I've got a couple spaces that we've held off, and it's like, you know what? We're looking for goods and services that we don't have. Mm-hmm. So it's a village. So you don't want to have 3 shoemakers. You want to have 1 good shoemaker. And that's the mix of the project is super important. So we help people. We don't do credit checks. If they need funding, CEF has been there to help fund some of these small businesses. If they've got a good idea and a good product, we'll help them get in business.
You literally touched on what I was going to ask you next. You offer affordable and flexible rental terms for these small business owners. Why was that so important in your vision for La Plaza? And did that create hurdles when it came to financing the business?
Most definitely created hurdles for the bankers, because this is out of the box, as they say. It's really, really hard to finance these types of projects. But the tenants, we help them by lowering the barriers of entry to open a business. Our kitchens, for example, we run at 15%. I hate the landlord-tenant relationship. And when I go back to Atlanta, I get, "Senor, we wish you still owned this place. These people are killing us." It's a very, very successful project. It's the capital for the Hispanic community for the state of Georgia, but they affect the tenant mix when you raise the rents. And as a landlord, your job is to raise rents on people till they squeal, cry, and die.
Right.
And if you don't have a little bit of vacancy, you're not doing a good job as a landlord. I hate that relationship. I want to be able to ask somebody, "Hey, did you have a good day?" And for them to say, "Yeah, we did great." So I've implemented what's called an occupancy cost model, and that way it allows the landlord, part of the equation, to participate in the upside, the success of a business, without killing them. And businesses, it's ratios. And if you maintain your ratios of your cost of goods, your labor, your occupancy costs, there's a ratio at the end of the day, and that's called profit. And that's what, I tell the people, I'll never put you out of business. If you go out of business, it's something that you've done on your side, and we're here to help and promote your business so you make as much money as you possibly can.
You have these lower barrier of entries for these small business owners, yet you still have to maintain a certain standard. Are there criteria that tenants have to meet in order to be a part of La Plaza Colorado? What are you looking for when an entrepreneur applies to be a part of this?
Dave, it's really easy. If you've got a good product and you want to, and we don't have that product or service in our project, it's a 30-day license. So come on. You can't rent an apartment for $400 a month. Yeah, we do have a minimum, but it's as simple as that. If you have the drive and the want to, sometimes you can give someone the best product in the world and they're the worst merchant in the world and they're going to fail. And vice versa. You can give kind of a mediocre product to a good merchant and they're successful. So it's interesting. We don't have a lot of turnover, after a certain period of time, and people hit their strides. And some people, I've already got people. We've been open since March 29th, so less than 3 months, and I've got people that want to expand. So it's like, wow, that makes me feel good as a developer. That there's success out there, and the tenants can talk to us about it freely.
Yeah, you began with a soft launch March 29th. There was a big party that day, but it has been a little bit of a slower rollout. What benefit does that provide you as a developer? Does it allow you to kind of see the momentum ramp up and allow you to be strategic? Is the soft opening ideal as compared to a grand opening where you're fully booked?
It's a good question. Obviously, as a preference, you want to open your house and it be perfect for everybody. And I've read some of the Facebook comments, and they're absolutely right. I agree with them. We're under construction. So for that, I apologize. Once we get the restaurants open, and I've got electricians and hood installers there right now doing that stuff in the grocery store. Once we get that, then we'll hit full stride. And even then, it takes time. Stanley Market took time to evolve and to become a phenomenal project. I love Stanley Marketplace. I think it's wonderful. And when people say you're the Hispanic Stanley, I consider that a compliment, because this is an excellent project.
I can't imagine the logistics and the engineering and the permitting that must go involved to having 24 kitchens up and running. I mean, that's got to be in and of itself an immense project. You mentioned plans to replicate La Plaza in other cities with large Hispanic populations. What's some of the criteria that you'll use to select these locations? And not to put the cart before the horse, but what's kind of your timeline on expansion? What would be ideal?
Dave, there's certain things developers like to talk about, and there's certain things developers don't like to talk about. And you just asked a question that I don't really want to share with any other competing developers. Trust me, I've got people that come into my project and looking at it and trying to duplicate it, which is fine. That's a compliment in and of itself. But yes, we will, it is a monumental task. And I use the same architect that the Stanley Marketplace used for my restaurants, and he said, this is a very complex project. I said, more than Stanley? And he said, yeah, more than Stanley. Yeah. So it's like, wow. It's like a track race. You have a hurdle in front of you. You jump one hurdle at a time. You can't jump that 6th hurdle before you jump the one in front of you. So you put your head down, you work hard. I've got good people. My daughter works for me. So we'll get there. It's just taking a little bit more time. But you mentioned permitting. The city of Aurora has been, awesome. And everybody from Mayor Kaufman on down, I have nothing but, wonderful things to say about the professionals at City of Aurora. I hear complaints all the time about Denver. I've never developed in Denver, and I have developed in a lot of different states around the country, and couldn't be more pleased to be part of the City of Aurora.
You love to hear that the government is business friendly.
Yes, very, very friendly.
Especially in the environment we've been in under the last few years. You talk about working with your daughter, Isabel. She's one of the managers, or she's the manager of the property from what I've read. She also has a background in restaurant development. How much pride do you take, not only as a dad, but as a business person, and watching your daughter flourish in this role and the support that she can provide in the development of this project?
So Isabel working for me was a total surprise. She interned for me one summer, and she said, "Dad, I love what you do."
Nice.
And she graduated from CU last year. She double major. She's very smart, hard worker. I have 4 children, and she's wiser and older than her years. She speaks Spanish. We homeschooled our children for 4 years only in Spanish.
Wow.
So they all speak Spanish. Unfortunately, Daddy doesn't speak Spanish, and I wish I did. It was a gift that I gave my kids.
Yeah, it is.
That I think all parents should give their children, is the gift of language. Doesn't matter if it's French, Spanish, whatever you choose, but it's a good thing. So I wish she was here. She had some meetings. But we have a female management team, and that's one of the lessons that I learned. And doing Atlanta and Charlotte is we have a lot of females, businesses. And don't take this the wrong way, but women communicate better than you and I do.
No, I agree 100%.
They use more words, so they have more empathy. They will sit and listen, and that's something that we want to foster, is a place where you can come in and talk to us, and you'll have an ear, and we'll help when we can.
As a quick aside, Visit Aurora here is probably 85% women, and in leadership positions as well. And when I tell people outside of the business that, they often say, "Oh, that's got to be a difficult environment to work in." I have to say, no, it's the most peaceful and communicative environment I've ever been a part of, because of the communication, because of the empathy, and I feel grateful to be a part of it. So I'm glad that you speak to that, because it is a dynamic that I think is undervalued.
Completely. I'm with you. I'm surrounded by women all day long, and I learn from them. It's a pleasure.
I'm excited to try Roberto's Smash Burgers. I'll also, all the authentic fare that's going to be at La Plaza, Colorado. I've read about exotic offerings like a grasshopper top pizza. What else on the culinary side should we be excited about?
Oh man, we've got, and I've held off a couple kitchens because I know we're going to have some unique and restaurants that want to open businesses. So we've got Salvadoran, Honduran, Venezuelan, Colombian foods. We have Asian food. I created the pizza concept and the burger concept just because we've got Anschutz Medical Campus, 0.8 of a mile down the road, 45,000 doctors, nurses, and technicians, and 100,000 visitors a day go to Anschutz. So, I created those so that everybody, you can grab it'll be a great cheeseburger. And the pizza, I'm unabashed. I'm copying the guy who founded Mott Pizza and Pieology. Said, I copied Chipotle. So it's real simple. You pick your ingredients. We've got a $45,000 pizza oven that is like a Maserati, made in Italy, wood-fired, gas-fired, New York style. Put all your ingredients on it. That'll be open in the next 2 weeks. So we've got some incredible food. So, and right now, the food trucks will, go away, and all that. A lot of them are coming inside with kitchens, and it's shipping containers stacked on top of each other. And we'll use the second level of the shipping containers for Birthday Party Central. You can rent a whole shipping container for a birthday party.
Wow.
So way better experience than, some of what my competitors offer out there, and it'll be cheaper as well.
I love the fact that entertainment is part of the offerings at La Plaza, Colorado. You mentioned the Hyperdeck, which is programmed with almost 250,000 virtual reality experiences. There's also an impressive arcade. What was the inspiration behind the inclusion of family entertainment? Is that part of the evolution of retail spaces in general, where it needs to be more experiential at this point?
It's not a traditional shopping center. It's an aggregation of uses, like a grocery store. That's not new. Dave & Buster's isn't new. Mercado. People have been shopping out of Mercados for thousands of years. Food halls aren't new. They've evolved from food courts. So it's a place. It's, you can go there grab a michelada, get your haircut, I've got the best $3 babysitter in Denver with my playground. It's manned, so your kids can go in there and play in a safe, fun environment for $3, and mom and daddy can chill out and do what they want to do, listen to live music. Yeah, so it's place first, and everything else kind of falls in line with the goods and services that we offer.
Love that. It's not a mall. It's not a food court. It's a community gathering space. It's a place where family can spend an entire day. You have music and performances, special events, services. Why is it so important to cultivate that sense of community in a space like this?
We provide a platform for lots of things, including nonprofits to come. It's a platform that the Hispanic community likes to gather. They have big families, and when they come, mom, dad, cousins, grandma, grandpa, everybody, they go together, which is, I'd love to see it. Our tables, we have to, when we clean, we've got to pull the two tops all apart because they're all thrown together to sit, 6, 8, 10 people, which makes me smile. I need to buy longer tables, which I'm gonna do. So it's, we're just we're catering to a community that, they like fun, food, music, family. They work hard, they play hard, and everybody, again, I stress everybody's welcome, and we hope we get people from Narnia coming in to see our project, and we'll pull 200 miles on the weekends.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll pull further than the Aurora Mall. I geofenced the project, and I was shocked. I geofenced the Mile High Flea Market. They have 1.8 million visitors a year. We just opened up inside, and we have 1.5 million visitors a year.
And we're not even fully open yet.
We're not even fully open. So I anticipate our numbers to go over 2 million visitors a year to La Plaza, Colorado.
You've already shot down my outside development vision, but for La Plaza, Colorado, where are we a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Where do you see it all going?
Oh, man. It's like a good bottle of wine. It just gets better and better and better as it ages. From a numbers standpoint, I bought Atlanta for $10.5 million. I sold it to the California State Teacher Retirement System, counselors, for $56 million in 2006. And in 2022, fourth quarter 22, they sold it for $86 million.
Wow.
So yeah, it just gets better and better and better. And if we do our job, which I intend to, we cater, we foster business, we help them grow, we help them expand, and hopefully, we become a destination for all of Colorado. Aurora will see sales tax dollars that, we have guys coming down from Silverthorne just to eat some of the food. It's a good thing for the community and the city.
That's Doug McMurrain, the owner of La Plaza, Colorado. I want to thank you for bringing such an incredible space to our community, and we're excited to help promote it. We're excited to get involved as much as we can at Visit Aurora. We feel like this is going to be a real asset for our city, and just wanted to extend our gratitude for bringing such an amazing place here.
Thank you. I'll see you there.
Visit La Plaza, Colorado at 15200 East Colfax, right on the corner of Colfax and Chambers. You can also follow along on social media at La Plaza, Colorado, and there's a website coming soon. Make sure you visit laplazacolorado.com. Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast. Visit Aurora is the official destination marketing organization for the city of Aurora, Colorado, and acts as the primary liaison between meeting planners and hotel partners. As Aurora's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Aurora's mission is grounded in showcasing Aurora as a premier destination for meetings, business, and leisure travel. Visit Aurora represents more than 75 plus hotel properties with 13,500 plus guest rooms and more than 1 million square feet of meeting space, including Colorado's largest resort, Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center. As Colorado's third largest city, Aurora is located minutes away from Denver International Airport and showcases mountain views, memorable meeting spaces, and 250 plus international eateries that offer a unique experience for each and every visitor. As the gateway to the Rockies, Visit Aurora's role in the local community goes beyond marketing the city as a destination. The Visit Aurora team is here to assist you with your Colorado visit, from facilitating your meeting, event, or convention to helping you discover local flavor and attractions. Go beyond the boardroom in Aurora, Colorado. For more, visit us at visitaurora.com.